I always find it funny how often poilievre supporters on my feed talk as if they've actually read the policies being brought forth by their own person or the other parties, when clearly they have no clue what they're talking about. I mean, this person says that they build homes, but haven't taken 5 seconds to even look at what the Liberal new, like the housing development plan that they come up. So I'm going to help you by going over a few things, because obviously you haven't read the policy, and then we'll talk about the rest of what you said here. So this is directly from the Liberal website. So, get the government back in the business of building. The Liberal housing plan will create Build Canadian Homes. So that's like the name of the initiative, I guess they're going to get the federal government back into the business of home building by acting as a developer to build affordable housing at scale, including on public lands, catalyzing the housing industry by providing over $25 billion in financing to innovative prefabricated home builders in Canada, including those using Canadian technologies and resources like mass timber and softwood lumber to build faster, smarter, and more affordably and more sustainably. And then providing $10 billion in low-cost financing and capital to affordable home buyers. Then they're going to cut the red tape to make it easier to build. Liberal housing plan will make the housing market work better by catalyzing private capital, cutting red tape, and lowering the cost of home building. Cutting municipal development charges in half for multi-unit residential housing while working with provinces and territories to keep municipalities whole. Reintroducing a tax incentive, which, when originally introduced in the 1970s, spurred tens of thousands of rental housings across the country. Facilitating the conversion of existing structures into affordable housing units, and building on the success of the Housing Accelerator Fund, further reducing housing bureaucracy, zoning restrictions, and other red tape to have builders navigate one housing market instead of 13. And then finally, of course, they're offering the elimination of GST and first-time home buyers on homes that are under $1 million. So why you think that the Liberals are not going to cut red tape to make things easier? And by being the developers, what they're doing is taking the power away from all of the home building companies that basically refuse to build affordable homes because they don't see any value in it. See, most home builders, they want to build these big, giant, mansions and stuff like that because that's where the money is. They're not going to make any money by creating affordable housing, multiple housing units and stuff like that, duplexes, triplexes, so on and so forth. They're not going to build, they're pretty much focused on condos and apartment buildings that they can make very, very tiny, fit as many as possible into one little, into a space, and then sell them or rent them out for extremely high prices. They don't want to build homes that the average person can afford. They certainly don't want to be in the business of building government housing either for those that are on waiting lists 6 to 10 years long. So by the government stepping in and saying, no, we're going to be the developers and we are going to pay housing companies money so that they will then build houses that are quick, affordable, durable, go up fast, that sort of thing. We're going to cut the red tape to do it as fast as possible while still making them safe to live in, of course. You don't want to. They're taking control of the situation. While Poilievre, all of the plans that he has pretty much want to put it in the hands of the developers who do not care about making affordable housing. Just like the fact that the Liberals thought, okay, when we're going to do this GST, we're going to make sure that it's for first-time home buyers only, right? Well, Poilievre said, no, we're going to do as GST cut and then anybody that buys a new home, they'll get it. You know who benefits from that? Landlords, real estate agents, so on and so forth, that can buy companies that can buy up tons and tons of homes and save all this money because they're not preventing them from buying those homes. So you're not helping people find affordable housing if you allow corporations to get discounts on buying up a ton of houses, or landlords buying up a ton of houses, because they're just going to buy those houses and rent them out at ridiculous prices. See, the Liberals actually have an idea that will help get those houses built and make them affordable, while they're also focusing on creating a government housing as well. So for somebody that builds homes, I understand. You must absolutely hate the Liberals' idea, because it sounds like you're the type of guy that poilievre is going to benefit, because you're going to be able to build all of these homes still, or buy all of these homes and make a shit ton of money while getting discounts. So I get why you don't get but coming onto my page and pretending like you understand and arguing that, oh, Canadians will never own a home. No, Canadians are never going to own a home under poilievre's policies. But for you building homes, it's fucking great, and you're going to make a shit ton of money. So don't lie to me, okay? Don't piss on me and tell me that it's raining honey. I'm not stupid. Oh, and one more thing. Canadians will never own a home, the government will. You realize that when somebody gets a mortgage, the bank owns their home, right? So why do you think the government is going to own their home? Other than the government housing that I mentioned, they'll get a mortgage and the bank will own it, not the government. The government is just making sure that these get built, and then when you get a mortgage, then you're paying to the bank and the bank owns your home. So again, very disingenuous for you to say that. Like, I might have been born at night, honey, but I wasn't born last night.